Welcome. This is going to be the final video on the series of how to build a good account depending on the troop type you want to specialize on. And today we're going to be going through the mages, okay? Probably the most requested one because that's the most of the player base are mages, and for example some of mage overall information is the best troop for free to play. The main reasons are: one, it's not that intensive on your resources because you're not usually the one getting hit, so you don't need to resource heal as much. Another good reason is it has AoE damage. So for example, even if the enemy brings a T5 Gorish Kogul, you can always target the Garwood that's next to it, for example, and benefit from that AoE to hit the Gorish Kogul. Another reason, the long range, that's really helpful, okay, to avoid getting or taking damage. So overall, I'd say is the best troop type for free to play. Now, for Season 1, it's pretty straightforward as a mage player, and I know this is kind of contradictory, because in one hand you say it's the best free-to-play troop, and at the same time, what I'm going to recommend is that you try to awaken Lilia, okay? Obviously, if you're a free-to-play, you don't go this route. For a free-to-play player, what you're going to do is you're going to focus on Waldir. Obviously, with mages, always take League of Order. You're going to focus on Waldir, get it awakened, and then you're going to put all your heads for Season 1 on Theia. Now, I mean, I know this is kind of weird because many people right now might be thinking, what about Belin? Belin, you want to make 5-1-1-1, okay? If you want to put some heads on him to get a bit more of power creep, go for it, okay? That's completely fine. But the thing is, you get a lot of free heads of Belin on the Season 1. You get him through the Gold Keys too, and although you get Theia from Gold Keys too, it's way harder to get those heads. And Theia will be useful for mages, like on the future seasons. So if you want to play the long-term game, you invest more on Theia than in Belin. If you really want to win hard in Season 1 or perform good in Season 1 and 2 probably, then you go with the heads on Belin, you awaken him, and then you work on Theia, okay? But yeah, my recommendation is at least try to get for Season 1 one of the heroes awaken. If you're free to play, you're probably not going to achieve that. So if you're free to play, my recommendation will be to split your heads on those two. So at least, although you will have no awakened hero, you'll have 2 solid heroes for your future seasons. But yeah, Theia is more like a future project that we're going to use. Regarding artifacts for Season 1, again, if you can get a Lily awakened, you will get the Infernal Flame for sure. If you cannot get Lily awakened, if you don't get her awakened, you need to go for a 5-1-2-2 configuration or a 5-1-3-1 ideally. The main reason is because that's the minimum investment you need to unlock the Infernal Flame through a special event that you will get. So it's kind of mandatory. I'm gonna say it, if you're not really going, it's not worth it to go 5-1-1-1 and not get those, 4 extra USD to get the artifact. Okay, so yeah. So you're gonna go for this, your Forge of Light keys on Season 1, and so on will go to Terrifying Inferno. Other valuable artifacts, for example, Phoenix Eye, you get it from regular keys. This is really good overall. It's not the best artifact, but it's like a Jack of all trades. You can use it with any mage merge, it deals good AoE damage, that's completely fine. Another interesting pick for Season 1 will be the Visage of Sanctums, although I do not recommend to really focus this with the Forge of Light keys. Yes, it's really good when you're using, for example, Move Theia or anything related to Theia, but it's too specific to one hero, and we might see in the future that Theia, for example, gets benched in the mage lineup, and then all the investment you did in this artifact disappears pretty much. So, unless, of course, the upcoming mage heroes have some type of shield, but yeah. The side bet, Infernal Flame, and you get this as this is more like the free-to-play route. If you're free-to-play, Magic Bomb, really strong, to be honest. So yeah, regarding pets, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a Sapphire Feedrake. You're gonna work to get him to 2 stars. This is gonna be your pet for your Lilia Belin or your Belin Waldir. And the most important thing here is to get up. You need to get above 310 Spirit, because that gives you the maximum amount of AoE hits that you're going to be able to hit with the EOS skill, which is the first one you're going to get on your first season, which is this one here, Advanced Pain Bloom. You'll get it instantly at 3 stars, and as you can see, Pain Bloom hits more enemy legions with every 155 pain points. The cap is at 310, so that's why it's so important, okay? Once you get this pet to 2 stars, the main skill, you're gonna work on another pet of the same time because you will be using more than one for your mages, as this is probably the highest DPS pet for mages in the game, the season 1 one. Like, it's kind of crazy, but this pet is really strong due to the... I mean, it's always depending on the EOS skill, okay? Without EOS skill, it doesn't have that much damage. It's all about this skill and the 310 spirit. But yeah, that's gonna be your season 1, and now we're gonna move into season 2. Now, season 2 is gonna be boring for mage main, because you don't really have any new heroes, any new pets that interest you. You have archers and you have cavalry, so you're gonna completely ignore that. You're only gonna bother unlocking them, maybe like through dailies with the new special thingy. So as you can see, free gift, this free gift grants you 10 heads, which is the instant unlock. So you're really gonna, you're only gonna unlock them through there, and the main reason is to buy the pop-up bundle. If you're not planning on do that, don't even bother with them. So for season 2, what we're gonna do is use Forge of Light keys for Infernal Flame. We're gonna keep working. Now I'm gonna even insist more to work only on Theia, okay? We get Bahorn, but I don't think he's worth for any single troop type, to be honest. I don't think he's really performing. He's too much of a jack of all trades to really be good at anything, which is a bit of his downfall. So yeah, for season 2, keep working on your Waldir Theia. That's your priority. And pets, again, keep working on getting 2 Sapphire Feedrakes. If you get them, then you could start working on getting the main one to 3 stars. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Now we're gonna move into season 3, and now here the things get spicy. So in this season, the issue we have, I mean, again, as a mage player, you can go with 5 solid mage marches, but that's considered a bit selfish, and in most top alliances, they will require you to at least run 1 infantry, okay? So we're gonna play with that premise, which is 4 mage marches, 1 infantry. So the thing with the infantry is, in season 3, you get Gorsh Kogel and you get Bertrand Tohart, and then you get Mushang, which for a mage player, everything is valuable, okay? Now, due to only playing 4 mage marches and already having a lot of new mages, what I'm going to recommend you to do, to be honest, is to skip Bertrand. Tohart, the issue is that this is one of the garrison for mages, which is like, if you ever think you might take a rally as a mage main, you might consider getting Tohart to a good point. But then again, like, this for me is just too scary, because the issue is, if you're gonna take a rally with Tohart, you really want like the best hero you can get, which will be Awakened, and then it requires a lot of heads. So I think for this season we skip these 2, and what you're gonna focus on is Mushang, to be honest. I know some people right now are considering replacing Mushang on their mage lineup. I think it's still super valuable for one, it has AoE damage, but it's not just that. The healing factor, mages end up losing HP mainly due to the counterattack of infantry and some archers. Having this healing constantly going up helps your mages stay for way longer on the open field, and the higher uptime, the more merit you get overall, okay? So I'm gonna still recommend that you work on Mushang. So for season 3, you gotta make a choice. You either work on Mushang and Theia heavily, and you get this March Awakened. This, up until now, was considered the best mage march in the game, Mushang Theia, okay? Or you work on getting a 5551, 5551 Skull. My recommendation is gonna be get Mushang Theia, because the best infantry march currently is Kumalai Kwan. And because we have, let's say, a conflict of interest in season 3, which is working on different pairs, I think you're better off going with the mages. For now, you're still not bringing infantry to the field, but that's acceptable because you're still growing your account. And then on the future in Strife, you will get a good Kumalai Kwan, which is the best infantry march. So yeah, for season 3, you're gonna work on Mushang Theia. And at this point, you need, guess what? You need to work on another Sapphire Feedrake, to be honest. It's your best choice to increase damage. You can go with a Sun Lizard. That's still acceptable because usually all your mages will be like on a blob, so keep, like, you know, you increase your healing, you increase your sustain for all your marches. But if you want raw DPS, you go with Sapphire. Up until this point, you have 3 mage marches. So you have Mu Theia, you have Lilia Belin, and then you have Waldir, for example, with Atheus, or you can even use it with Tara to reduce with this skill the damage taken. Okay, so right now we currently have 3 marches out of 5. Of course, the Waldir Tara one, I recommend this to be honest, will get replaced in the future. Now regarding artifact for Mushang Theia, ideally it's gonna be Visage of Sanctum, but again, if you don't have Visage of Sanctum, you can use the Phoenix Eye, and then on your 3rd epic hero march, you put your magic bomb, and you have 3 AoE hitting artifacts, which is really strong to be honest. But yeah, this will be for season 3 regarding pets. Again, regarding pets, you're gonna work on a 3rd Sapphire Feedrake, or if you want, you go work on a Sun Lizard. We're finishing season 3, but now we go into season of Strife, and again, we now have a lot of new toys to play around with. So, your priority getting into season of Strife is gonna be Youngmin. This is absolutely broken, okay? Every single hero usually that has a passive heal, for some reason I think the devs don't really know how to balance them, and it's just busted. It's giving insane merit reports, okay? And it's not as much about Gromara, the pair, it's just this guy. This guy is proccing skill damage non-stop. It's like every single skill is open field related, so it's really strong, okay? And the good thing about this guy, and the crazy part, is that it has a lot of possible pairings, okay? Like, you have a lot. So he's still being tested, but some of the information I have, for example, is that him makes, for example, Thaleia actually usable. This hero, this mage hero, is really worthless, to be honest. Like, it's probably the worst mage march or hero, yet with Yunming, it just works super good. Margaret Yunming is working really good. So right now in Season of Strife, we need to finish off the lineup, and you need to do that before going into the investment part. So for that, I'm gonna bring the notepad. Okay, so what do we have so far? We have Lilia Belin with Infernal Flame as a fire. We have Mu Theia with Visage or Phoenix and another Sapphire. 3rd March is gonna be our epic, but of course that's getting replaced now. So here is where things get crazy, because, for example, Magret Zaida is an archer hero, but you can use them with mages, and it's probably like your top 3 to 4 mage march. Like, the thing is, for example, me on this infantry account, what I'm working on is on Yunming, on Magret Yunming. The main reason I'm doing this is because then I can work on Zaida, and I can be using this as mages, and when I run out of mages, I literally just swap Zaida in, and now I have an archer march. So it gives you a lot of playability, and it gives you a lot of like options, while maybe the march is not as good as, for example, Yunmin Thaleia, or you mean Thundalin, or anything like that, okay? Because this is fully focused on mage, I'm gonna give you the highest performing marches, although maybe thinking about doing what I'm doing with Magret Yuming might be overall good for your account. So when you're out of troops, you still can get to use archers for a reasonably cheap investment. We know another march is gonna be Kuma Lake 1 with Serpent's Fetch, I think, Fetch, I don't know how it's called, but Kuma's artifact. Serpent's Edge with a Venomous Lizard. I don't think the Mossrock is the best choice. The main issue with the Mossrock is that it only hits melee, and you're usually getting swarmed on your Kuma from a lot of ranges. I will do further tests, I just need, pretty much just to put myself to it, where I will go with, like, the issue is, this is my Mossrock Aurochs, and this is my Venomous Lizard. So again, the Venomous Lizard is slightly better. So I wanted to make the test of me getting swarm. Like, I'm hitting, like, for example, 3 infantry, getting hit by 5 mage ranges. How do the pets perform? And the overall merits, but yeah, I will do that in the future. But my gut feeling tells me that Venomous Lizard is still better than Mossrock. So we're gonna go with that. Venomous, Serpent's Edge, Kumalik 1, that's gonna be your 3rd march. Now we have 2 mages remaining. So one for sure is gonna be Yunming. Okay, now the question is, what pairing do we use? So again, you can use Gromara you can use Tohar, you can use Bertrand, you can use Margaret. Like you have like you can use Thalia, you can even use Thandalin. Like you have insane options. Okay. Now Bertrand, I tested it. Well, I didn't test it. I had the guy with a Good Mage account test it for me. One good thing is you get max stacks of Yumin. The issue is Bertrand doesn't really keep up as good. Tohar, not really the best combination. So Yumin, it's probably the best options are Gromara, Thaleia, and Margaret. I don't have much information on Thandalin. I know it works fine, but I will stick to those three. Now, because Thaleia honestly only works with Yumin, I'm not gonna say this is the best pick. So for me, it's between Gromara and Margaret. So I'm gonna give you the options, and you're gonna choose whatever you want. Gromara is gonna give you garrison extra. Okay, so if your city ever gets rally and you have invested in Gromara, you can use it for garrison, and it's gonna help you with that. Or you're gonna go with Margaret, which gives you flexibility to an extra archer march. Okay, this is up to you. Both perform kind of okay. Maybe the Gromara performs slightly better due to all skills being relevant, but due to the flexibility to be able to swap to an archer march, I'm gonna give you for you to decide. For pets, if you want the highest DPS, it's gonna be another Sapphire Feedrake. Okay, with 310 spirit, people say out DPS is the new lava pet. If you're not really going for the AUS and the 310 everything, etc., you can go with the lava new pet, which is this one, the Flaming Manticore, and it's still gonna perform better. It's just the Sapphire will do slightly more AoE damage. So now that leaves us with our last march. It's gonna be another mage march. The question is, what do we do? So for example, if you're going the Yumin Gromara, I'm gonna say go with Margaret Zaida as mage march. Why? Because again, that flexibility to be used with archers. Imagine you run out of mages and you're low on resources. At that point, you either wait for your elixir to come back, or you start using a Margaret Zaida with archers. Okay. Another options, I'm not gonna recommend the Thandalin Thaleia. It's been proven that it really doesn't perform that good. Bertrand Tohar for me is not better than Margaret Zaida, even in like the mage category. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna still say to go with the Margaret Zaida. Gives good report with Celestials, gives you flexibility, and the best part is for the mage build, it's probably the cheapest march you can do, because you're gonna use it with Tear of Arbon, and then you're gonna use a Sun Lizard. So we have 1, 2, 3, well, 1, 2 or 3, depending on your choice here, of Sapphires. Then we have 1 Venomous Lizard for our infantry and 1 Sun Lizard. This Sun Lizard is gonna help you heal your other 3 mage marches. That will be my recommendation. I know Yumin with Thaleia is doing good, but again, the moment this combo breaks, Thaleia becomes worthless again. And I don't think that's a safe investment to do in Heroes. I think you're better off going with this with Gromara. You probably want the most performance, or this with Margaret. Again, if you're choosing, I mean, here is either Margaret Zaida, or you go with Thandalin Thaleia. For those reasons, I think you better stay like this, and here you go, Yumin Gromara. Okay, because obviously if you put Margaret here, you cannot really do here Margaret Zaida. That for me is probably the best lineup you can do. And yeah, I hope this was helpful, and catch you in the next one.